It's Saturday, and this is More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast where we help you build a thriving business. I'm Anna Angelova, business coach and consultant, and one of the co hosts of this daily podcast. And I have Jores Minasvand here with me, my fellow co host and the business consultant. Hey, Jores, happy Saturday.
Hi Anna, happy Saturday. We just closed another beautiful week and hoping the audience enjoyed what we talked about and what we, again, sharing our experiences. And yeah, let's do the recap and let our audience enjoy their beautiful Saturday.
Yes, it's the weekend, so while we do want to share a lot, we can keep it very straightforward and to the point. If you are a regular listener, you know that Saturday episodes are all about recapping our biggest takeaways from the week, what we talked about Monday to Friday. And this gives you an opportunity to rinse and repeat if you've already listened to the episodes, or if you haven't listened to the episodes, it allows you to hear what we shared and go back and listen to the episodes that you find interesting and relevant for where you are and where your business is. So, without further ado, Monday. We started the week with technology, and what we talked about is setting up a dashboard that's useful and not overwhelming. Like something that really helps you lead and manage your business without creating too much burden on you and without overwhelming you. And I would say the biggest takeaway from this one, of course, is keep it simple. And Joris, you actually were the one who I think who shared this, like simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. Uh, Putting like uh, 3 to 5 at most KPIs, like key performance indicators, on your dashboard is more than enough for you as the leader. And then from there, if you need, you can drill down, you can see what's going on. This is it, like 3 to 5 things that show you what's going on with the business and really give you a cohesive view of the business, that 360 view of the business. So you don't really want to focus on one area alone. You want to have a view of the business where it shows you finances, it shows you your employees, and like with what's going on with your culture, for example. It shows you customers, all these aspects of the business, not just one area. So I know there actually probably these were a couple of key takeaways, but anyway, Joris, how about you? What's your biggest takeaway from our conversation on Monday?
Um, it was, yeah, uh, simplicity, yes. Know the difference between a dashboard and a report, and then make sure that you have at least one KPI or a monitoring section in your dashboard as part of your operation, the key parts of your operation, finance operations, customer churn, employee, whatever it is that is key uh, for your business. Put those as summary, as shortcuts into your dashboard. And then, as you mentioned, Anna, for drill through, you can drill that. But again, you don't want to get too involved into the details uh, of uh, the business. So make sure that you yeah. So for you, high level, where you see trouble, you see trends are going downwards, then what you need to do is to then jump into the details on those.
Spot on. So after Monday, Tuesday was all about micromanaging and specifically how not to become a micromanager. Uh, and it was a very interesting conversation. Like we talked actually, like we shared quite a bit for this one. And I would say uh, what I would spotlight again is the awareness. So everything starts with awareness and the fact that you are thinking about, oh, am I micromanaging? How not to micromanage? I would say that this is a great thing, that awareness is the first step for any change. So even if you are micromanaging right now in one way or another, the fact that you are aware of this and you want to improve is a great start. And staying mindful and aware of how you show up as a leader and as a manager uh, is one of the ways. Oh, it's really important actually for you to not become a micromanager. Your thoughts, Joris?
Absolutely. I mean, if you have identified the right person, if you have delegated to the right person the right way, then there is absolutely no need for you to micromanage. There is no need for you to breathe down people's necks every day on every step of everything that they do. And always uh, why you hired someone, right? You hired someone uh, to do a certain task. If you hire someone and you tell them what to do, then it's a waste. Then you'll never grow. So micromanagement there's a fine line between uh, monitoring someone what they do and micromanaging. Uh, so absolutely don't be a micromanager. The other problem with micromanagement is that you will alienate your team and they will leave.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we bring these topics to you. So if you have missed that episode or if you want to go and revisit it, go ahead. It was from Tuesday, which would have been 19th. Yes, August 19th. So, yeah, go ahead and listen to that episode, especially if you're just starting to build a team, because this way you can learn how to show up as a manager and as a leader from the beginning. And then Wednesday, we had an interesting topic following the topic of not micromanaging. Wednesday, we talked about things that you should never delegate, things that you should, as a business owner, where you should always be. And as I said on Wednesday, no, we are not contradicting ourselves. The thing is that as a business owner, you need to keep track of certain things the whole time. Like you are responsible and accountable, even when your business grows. Even if you have like a mid-sized business that's making mid eight figures or even nine figures a year, even if you have like a business that's over 10 million, 50 million, even 100 million a year, there are certain things that you as the business owner need to keep track of. And this applies even when you reach a level, if you will have reached that level where you do own the business, but you are not involved in any of this. Like you even have a CEO who is managing everything, and you're just the board, right? You are the board, and you just get quarterly reports. And I would say I summarized it, and if you missed it, definitely go and listen to this one, especially as your business is growing. But ultimately, the three things that I summarized is financials is one of them. So keeping track of your financials and knowing where they are and what's going on. Do not outsource the responsibility and accountability for this. It's your business. Then the other one is the leadership, like the vision, the direction the business is going into, and culture. Do not delegate culture. These are three very, very important aspects that, as a business owner, whether you're involved in the daily operations or you've reached a place where you do own the business, but someone else is managing it and like other people are managing it, and you just get your dividends and quarterly reports, your quarterly reports should give you clear visibility into what's going on with financials, what's going on with the direction the company is going into, the vision of the company, and then, as I said, culture. So this is my biggest thing from Wednesday. Joris, how about you?
Um, I think you covered it pretty well. And going back to what we talked about on Tuesday, on Monday, when we talked about what you should monitor, which are the key components of your business. By the same token, that's what you should not be delegating. Decision making on finances. Yes, you may have uh, CFO or an accountant, but that accountant does not make decisions on moving money in your account. They do not have access to your account at all. Key operational uh, decisions, for example, onboarding or firing customers, onboarding or firing team members. Those are the stuff that is key. Pricing of your product or services. Those are the key stuff that you need to. Uh, again, you don't have to do it. You can delegate it, but the last decision comes to you to monitor, review, and approve or disapprove. So
Yeah, and again, go to listen to that episode if you haven't yet. Ultimately, like what you should never delegate, these things, like the things that you don't delegate. There are some of them that no matter where you are, you don't. But then there are other things that in the beginning you are doing it. But as your team grows, you let go of some of these things. But ultimately, as a business owner, the key thing is that as a business owner, it's your business and you're accountable and responsible. Even when you have a corporation or a limited liability company, when your assets are protected, it's still your company. You still want to make sure that you stay on top of things and your term is on the pulse of the company. Which brings us to Thursday, when we talked about connecting the tools that you have, like making sure that the tools you have, like all those application software, they talk to each other. And actually, I'm saying all those tools that you have. And one thing that I would say was a part of our conversation on Thursday and a takeaway for me personally is that those tools don't really need to talk to each other. All of them don't need to talk to each other. Yes, some of them it makes sense, but for others, and I love that you shared this, Joris, that for others, you might need to just get the data and extract some reports and look at the reports, but these tools might not need to really talk to each other. So this is one key takeaway. And then the other thing I want to point out is, especially if you're starting your business, do it strategically. Like choose the tools that you are adding, like the automations that you are adding to your business strategically in a way that you choose tools that can talk to each other and they can like there are APIs, like the data can be easily moved from one to the other. And in this case, like what we're talking about, I did mention some examples on Thursday. Is let's say someone schedules a call with you. So when they schedule a call with you, this thing goes to your calendar. This thing, the information goes to your CRM, where if the person is already there, it's just updated with a new um, meeting or activity, or if this is a completely new person that's not in your CRM, then of course the a new record is created, and then from there like, it can flow to any other systems like for invoicing and all these kind of things. So it was a pretty interesting conversation. And again, if you missed it, if this is something that is on your agenda, go and listen to that episode from Thursday. Joris, anything you'd like to add for the Thursday episode when we talked about connecting your tools?
not much more comes to mind. If you don't have tools that you already do, all the current tools that they're SaaS based, they're pretty much connected. If you choose the right one, connected to your industry connections. For example, a CRM for a lawyer connects to the courtroom, allows you to submit documents. So, but if you already have tools that you need to understand why do you need to connect them. If the connection is part of the standard operating procedure to complete and automate that procedure, yes, you have no choice to either spend the money and time to connect them or to migrate to a new platform that's already connected. But if you really don't, it's not part of standard operating procedures and you only need the data, then you have to think about just connecting, collecting all the data from the different systems that you have and put them into a warehouse or a lake and then do all of your reporting, whatever you need to get out of it.
Very well said. I love the summary for this one. Which brings us to Friday or yesterday, if you're listening to this episode on Saturday when it's released. So yesterday, one of my favorite topics, not toppings, topics, leadership development track. So how to create a leadership development track inside your business. And one thing I would say, first of all, go and listen to that episode if you missed it. And then the other one is when we think about leadership development track, a lot of times we are thinking about that natural ladder progression from single contributor to a manager to executive and so on. What I shared yesterday and what I want to repeat today, highlight again today, is that it doesn't have to be this way. A leadership development track, yes, of course, one path is that progression from single contributor to manager to executive and so on. The other part the other part and the other path should be growing your team and employees in ways that they contribute more within the role they already have, the role that is their ideal role. So someone might be ideal and great as a single contributor. Another person can be awesome as manager, middle manager, and then others can reach the executive level. So having progression and having development, leadership development for all these different scenarios, because as I mentioned in the episode yesterday, a great waiter who doesn't want to become a manager can and should be a waiter. And what can you can do as the owner of the restaurant, let's say, is to invest in this person getting even better as a waiter, in developing as a leader in this capacity where this person is, and then maybe mentoring, maybe coaching others. So, really thinking about leadership development in a holistic way. This is what I would say. And Jores, how about you? What's your biggest takeaway from yesterday?
Identify the right person. You should be able to easily identify them, the way they manage themselves and the way they handle themselves. Bring them into their call, and the biggest test would be replace yourself with them on one of your tasks, one of your meetings, one of your decision streams, and see how they act. They may end up surprising you, and then you can, nurture them and further build on that.
Awesome. Yes, this was the other another thing we discussed, like knowing how to identify and test whether someone is ready, and of course, investing in their development was another thing that I want to highlight as well. So a few more than highlights from yesterday, but again, one of my favorite topics. And go listen to this episode if you missed it. So yeah, this was it. This was the past week. What happened? So we talked Monday. We talked about setting up a useful dashboard so it doesn't overwhelm you. Tuesday was all about avoiding becoming a micromanager. Wednesday, we talked about the processes that you should never delegate as a founder, as a business owner. Thursday was all about connecting the different tools and applications, software you have so they can talk to each other. And yesterday, Friday, was all about the leadership development track inside your business. If you missed any of these episodes, if they sound interesting, go and listen to them. And tomorrow we are back with kicking off the next week. And what we do tomorrow, like if you are a regular listener, you know, if you are brand new, welcome to our regular listeners and OGs. Welcome back. Like, again, we really appreciate what you do and you showing up every day here. So tomorrow we will share what's coming up ahead. So this is it for today. It's Saturday. Go enjoy it, relax, do whatever you do on Saturdays, and remember to tune in tomorrow to hear what's coming up. And one way to remember is, of course, to subscribe so you get notified when a new episode is published. This is it. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday, wonderful rest of the day and weekend, and we'll be back tomorrow morning with the kickoff of the next week.
Thank you, Anna. Bye bye.
Bye, bye, Joris. Thank you.